Remix.
Hey! I believe I can fly. Hey. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. I spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. You see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Hey,
One. Big decision. One.
I believe I can fly.
One.
I believe I can touch the sky.
Big decision. One. Big decision. One. Big decision.
You gotta make one big decision in your
One big
lifetime.
decision.
What you wanna be and what you wanna do. You wanna run a committee.
Hi, I am Monique Chow. And I'm Josie Vaughn. And today we will be having an interview with Carrington Mead, also known as Rusty. And she'll be telling us about her hard life growing up and just becoming an attorney, a pro bono, award-winning attorney. And we'll also learn about the dog she rescued, Lucky Lucy. There's lots of drama between her sister, her parents, her brother, her dog, and her daughter. Great. Oh, so let's look. Let's take a look. Hello, who are you?
I'm Rusty.
Okay.
I'm Carrington Mead.
I am Monique.
And I'm Josie.
What's up?
Okay, we have some questions here.
You know any good jokes?
No. What?
No? You know good jokes?
No. We have
No.
some questions for you
Okay.
about your your life story.
My life story?
Yeah, this story.
That story?
Yeah.
Okay. What about that story?
Your lawyer. So how did you become a lawyer? Like why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I saw a void and it needed to be filled, so I figured I'd just do it myself.
Okay. And like, did your background years affect it? Make you want it even more?
Yeah, I think my life experiences influenced that decision. Yes.
Okay.
How did you pay for college?
I had like a scholarship from the Navy, from the Veterans Administration, because I broke my back in the Navy, and I went to school under the Voc Rehab, Chapter 31 entitlement under the federal code, and they paid for the undergrad stuff, and then I took student loans out under federal Stafford loans program for law school.
Okay. So, how old were you when you wanted to become a lawyer?
Well, the first time I wanted to be a lawyer, I was probably maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old, and I was told that girls don't do that. So it's been an idea that I've had off and on. I mean, the first thing I ever wanted to do was be a veterinarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the relationship with you and your sister? Like, how did that kind of affect it? Like, with your parents and all that.
How did it affect what?
Like, you know how you told in your reading text, it said that your sister was taken away from you. Did that kind of want you to have justice back in your life and fight for her?
No, I mean, I'm not sure what you mean about having justice back in my life, but I don't think it was a motivator to become a lawyer. I mean, I don't know that that's something I thought I had to be a lawyer to regain.
Okay, I confused myself when I was trying to say it, so I think you wasn't gonna understand it. Go ahead, say something.
What is your relationship with your parents?
What is it?
What is your
I don't-
relationship? Yeah.
What is it? I don't have a relationship with my parents. We don't talk. We haven't spoken to each other in a very, very long time.
Like, do you love your mom at all?
I do not harbor any intense feelings for either one of them in any way, good or bad.
Why do you call your parents by their first name?
Because I don't see them as my parents. They don't behave like parents, and I think people who behave like parents should be called mom and dad, and I think people who don't behave like parents should be just called by their first name.
True. What happened with you and your twin as a younger child?
What happened?
Yeah.
What happened with us?
Mhm.
My sister and I, when we were born, I came out, somewhat normal, whatever normal is, and she came out with obvious birth defects. She has cerebral palsy, which has a component to it, which she has severe mental development issues, and along with seizure stuff. And so, when we were little, she was very needy, and she took a lot of time, and I guess it became obvious that no matter how we got, somebody was going to have to stay home and take care of her all the time. So I guess that's why my parents took her and took us all for a ride and dropped her off one day.
And have you came in contact with your sister?
Yes, I have been in contact with my sister. Yep, and we get along quite well. We're like freaking practice. It's almost like we've never been apart.
Like go ahead, twin telepathy.
Huh?
Like twin telepathy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we both like the color blue. We both love to watch baseball games. We're both pretty active. Like to go play basketball and shoot hoops. Yeah, and we both have an intense zest for life and enjoying things and having a good time.
Do you still talk to your brother?
I have not spoken to my brother since I was about, I think, 20, 21 years old.
And why is that?
Well, back when I was getting divorced and stuff, my parents, I guess, said some things to him about me that did not make him happy, and he wanted to beat me up, and he never called me, and I lost track of him.
So like, what happened with you and your daughter? Like, the whole scene.
What happened to me and my daughter?
Yeah.
My daughter is, her daddy describes her as a mama's girl. We get along very well. She's actually going to come visit me in a couple of weeks for about 2.5 weeks, and she's already planning everything we're going to do, moment to moment to moment. She wants me to do things like go to a spa and get a facial, and go get a pedicure, and take her to the beach. Take her shopping, of course, with my money. All the things, I guess, that young ladies want to do with their moms, to some extent. She likes to, when she visits me, she likes to break out some really, stiff hair gel, the super, controlled stuff, and spike my hair up and give me a spike do or a mohawk. So she's still trying to play with my hair, even though I don't have much of it, So, and she likes to complain to me about the fact that she has her father's hair, and she wants to know why she can't have my hair. I told her I'm not in control of that. This is kind of luck of the draw in the genetic pool. So we have a very close relationship.
How old is she?
She is 24. She'll be 25 in May.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when we read it, it said that they tried to take her away. Why did they try to take your daughter away?
Because my parents believed that I was going to be unable to raise my child in a fit way just because I was gay. They thought it was more appropriate to for her to go live with her dad, who she didn't really know and didn't have a relationship with. So in their eyes, I went from being a great parent to a bad parent overnight.
Have you guys discussed how to become an attorney and all that? And focus on okay.
Let me try to get to the business.
They love your story. They love the story.
They love the story?
Yeah, your story is very intriguing actually, and really they really have paid attention. They can almost, the other kids were talking about it and telling Kim about it, and it's really, they're very touched by it. So.
Oh yeah? What is it you like about my story?
The fact that you went from went from the bottom and then you came up and now you're a lawyer.
Well, it's really not that hard to do though, Monique. It's not that difficult. All you have to do is want something better for yourself and then try for it. I haven't been successful all the time. I had a class I made an F in, when I was in college. I had another class. I had to go back and take the high school level class first in order to pass the college class. You don't have to. You don't always have to be brighter than everybody else, but just a lot more determined than the average bear. Okay. You're not always gonna succeed the first time around, but the great value of failure is that if you're paying attention to what you're doing and you're paying attention to how you make your decisions, then you'll know what you did wrong and you'll be able to learn from it. So the next chance you get at it, you're going to have an advantage on the rest of the folks, and you'll be able to outdo them, or at least be successful in what you're trying to do. You follow that?
Mhm.
So failure is really not a bad thing unless, of course, you don't learn from it and don't use it to your advantage. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember. I tell my daughter this all the time. If you're competing with somebody and you come in second, you shouldn't feel bad about that unless you didn't try your best. Okay? Because that means you let somebody win easily. Their first is only as good as your second. You know what I'm saying? If you don't try and they get first, that means you could have won. You just let them do it. You beat yourself. They didn't beat you. You beat you.
Like my mom, she's kind of harder on me in my grades because she knows I want to be a lawyer. She wants me to go to college because she wasn't able to. So I got my first D on my report card today. So now I'm kind of mad at myself because of that. So.
Well, how do you think you got that D?
Because I didn't do my work.
So you just beat yourself. So if you don't become an attorney one day, who do you have to blame?
Me.
Yeah. You gotta apply yourself. People aren't just gonna hand it out, man. Degrees aren't like candy. You gotta go to school. I mean, my daughter, she's going to school right now. She's in college, and she's like, I don't like my professor. And I'm like, well, the sooner you learn how to deal with people you don't like and learn how to succeed despite that, the better off you'll be. I deal with people all the time I don't care for too much. That's part of being a lawyer. Sometimes you deal with folks who don't understand how, what it's like to be a real parent. It's a really shame at my age I've got to sit here and tell folks, sometimes they're older than me, tell people how to properly parent their children. They can't seem to get their own heads out of their butts and focus in on what's important. You're too busy worried about having a boyfriend or girlfriend instead of concentrating on what their kid needs. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Did you use the Army as an escape to get away from your parents?
Or
The Navy?
Yeah, the Navy.
Yes, that was exactly my escape route. Yes, it was. That was the only way out. They wouldn't let me leave.
Like,
Military, the military's not a bad place, folks, to consider if you're trying to figure out what you want to do in life. Okay? It's a great way to learn a skill, learn a trade, get a decent income, and be able to meet some folks who are different from you, because meeting folks who are different can actually expand your education and make you a better person. Sorry about that. That's my text message. Sorry.
like, I love my country and all, but I just can't risk dying for it. Like, so I'm like never going into the Army or the Navy or anything. Cause I'm not risking my life for my country, even though I love it. So.
Well, some things are worth dying for. It just depends. It's your own value system. That's why I went to the Navy. You're usually on a ship and you're not that close to the front line. See, I was smart about that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Or the Marines, because I can swim, so I can do that.
You can swim? That puts you closer to the front line than the Navy.
Oh, never mind.
Never mind.
Air Force is the furthest.
But you can
You
shot
can be in the
me.
Air Force. In the air, what we folks in the Navy used to call the Air Force folks?
What?
Civilians in uniform.
I'm scared of planes.
Scared of planes?
Yes, like, I'm scared of heights.
What did a plane ever do to you?
I don't know, nothing. I'm scared of heights.
Oh. Confront your fears.
Yeah. Okay. So, we also, I don't know if it was in here because I didn't read it all, but it was like something
You didn't read it all.
it was about Lucky Lucy, your puppy or your dog. What about her?
Oh, her?
Yeah.
She's cold. She was found starved to death. She had a mass on her belly. I've spent a lot of money on her. She's got her mask taken off. She's not starving to death anymore. She's well fed. She's a happy dog. Her favorite occupation is to be petted and chase lizards. And eat.
Do you have? Is she home now? Like,
Is she home now? Yeah, she's around here somewhere. You want to see her?
Yes.
Let me see if I can find her. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Come on. She's like, I don't know about that. She laid down. Come here, Lucy. Come here. Come here, Lucy. Lucy. Okay.
So, like, what's the background story of Lucy? Like, how did you, like, get her?
Well, my partner found her on a dirt road that her mother and father live on, and they thought she was dead. They got a little closer and realized she was alive. So then Kelly called me up and told me to come over and help this dog because she was afraid animal control would show up and put it down. So I showed up and found this really, really, really emaciated, almost hairless dog. And I took her to the vet, and we started feeding her and giving her medicine and taking care of her and petting her and making sure she knew she was safe. And here we are. And now I went from a really skinny dog to a chubby butt and think she's a large chihuahua. That's her deal. As you can see, she's kind of camera shy. You know.
I want a puppy. I don't want a pit bull because they're scary.
She's sweet.
Oh, this one's pretty sweet. She don't even have any teeth though either. Somebody filed all her teeth down. She's probably the sweetest dog in the house.
How do you become, like, what's, like, the steps to becoming an attorney?
Well, first you need a high school diploma. Gotta have that. Okay? She's rolling her eyes. Oh my gosh, gotta do that. Yeah. First you need a high school diploma. Gotta have that. Gotta have that. A lot of colleges don't want to take GEDs anymore. Or if you have a GED, it's not gonna keep you from going to college, but it just makes you have to go through some extra work. So it's a lot easier if you just get your high school diploma first. You're going to have to take the ACT or SAT, I guess.
Yeah.
So listen to your guidance counselor about that. You have to get into college somewhere. And most people who go to law school usually major like in history, English lit, or political science, or criminal, whatever it is, criminal science, something like that. I was a sociology major, which may be a lot different, but because of the, but it works with the kind of work I do. And then when you go to college, you have to take, when you finish college, you take the LSAT, which is like the SAT and the ACT, but it's a legal test. What they do is they test your ability to reason deductively and inductively. And depending on your score, certain schools may want you. If you score high enough, you can apply to several schools. And then you get into school. And then law school is a whole different environment, because it's not about just getting the answers right and getting a grade based on that. It's who's got the best answer, and then you make this big bell curve. So you're not being graded against yourself. You're being graded against everybody else. Okay? And so a lot of people make C's in law school. Most people do, because there's no way to get through law school. Most people do that because of the bell curve. You only hand out like 1A and 1B in the class, and everybody else gets some degree of C, D, or F from there. And that takes 3 years of school. And then when you get out of school, you have to take a couple more tests. You got to take, the multi-state professional responsibility exam, which tests your ethics. Mm-hmm. And then you have to take another exam. In most states, it's a 2-day exam. One is a multi-state bar exam for that's all multiple choice, and it's not the right answer; it's the best answer. And the other part is usually made up of essays and multiple choice for the state. Okay, each state's a little different, but that's how it works. And so that's how you become a lawyer. So it entails about 8 or 9 years worth of work.
Like me, I want to be a corporate lawyer instead of an attorney, because I don't know. I just want to be a corporate lawyer.
Well, you can do that, but you'll still probably have to get a license. And that last part there, some corporate lawyers, they can be corporate lawyers without having a license. But nowadays, the corporations really do prefer you to be licensed in the state where you reside. It's not always necessary in corporate law. And I can't really say exactly what would be needed in corporate law, but basically you'd have to go through the same basic steps at least in order to get there. There might be some other things you might need to do, like if you're working for a company like Merrill Lynch or John Hancock and you're going to be a corporate lawyer, you might have to take a securities exam to get licenses, in securities. So things like that are particular to your industry.
Because I had my plan kind of worked out. I knew I was going to get my high school diploma. I was going to go to Georgia Tech, and I was going to major in English, minor in, I forgot what I said, and then go to law school in Georgia also.
So what do you think a corporate lawyer does?
I know a corporate lawyer is you kind of finance and keep records of Walmart. If I was doing Walmart, I would kind of focus on them and take records, and pay attention to that type stuff.
Oh. Yeah. Well, a lot of times I think it's kind of like just keeping track of regulations and making sure you're in compliance and stuff like that. It's kind of like being a civil cop.
You guys get everything you need? Rusty, thank you so much. You guys want to do your send off? Give your thank yous to Rusty to all my.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't hang up. Peace out, man.
And that was our interview with Carrington Mead. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
your
One big
lifetime, what
decision.
you wanna be and what you wanna do. You wanna run a committee.
This project is funded through the Wacomico Partnership for Families and Children, the local management board for Wacomico County, with funding from the Governor's Office for Children.